Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. We are live, locked and loaded for another lovely day here at the Intel Esports Arena, where the world is watching. As per usual, it is always going to be a banger. It should be a wonderful affair. Back once again with Season 7 of Pro League for our final installment for the week, Snots.
Jack, yes, final installment of the week, and yeah, basically into the final stage here of Pro League Season 7. There's only a few more days to work with. Most of the teams now got, what, 2-3 more better twos to try and claim that spot at the playoffs or avoid relegation.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, we're really down to the nitty-gritty now. I mean, looking at these tables just at a quick glance, you can see the way it's shaping up. Even after yesterday as well, that was actually jam-packed with a lot of shuffling going on throughout the leaderboard.
It's true. Obviously, the FaZe 2-0 now battling against North, FaZe, G2 themselves, all around that top 8 mark, trying to get into the top 6 era. Obviously, you know, Strala Space Soldiers matchup basically, you know, setting the new tier listing, as they're now 1-2's been swapped over with that one, and also towards the end of the story as well, Envious picking up a map win, so something to turn the tides there towards the bottom as well.
Let's actually have a look at that table for you guys at home as well and try and break this down a little bit more in depth to give you a rough idea of how it's been going.
Yeah, so mentioned it just a second ago, obviously Astralis Space Soldiers, Astralis having the 16-14 and the 16-4 victory as well, 2-0 win over Space Soldiers, so they now actually claim the 1-point advantage. Both teams having actually 20 maps played, and only 1 point ahead there for Astralis, number 1 right now. And I believe today, if they win 2-0 in their matchup, they will indeed actually be secured top 6 as a bare minimum, so they will be going to Dallas. Now also towards the bottom of the end of the spectrum here, Envious picking up the win. Basically yesterday, actually, Audience with 13 points. Now you can see they are 2 maps behind LDLC, so they have 3 points to back up themselves to get over LDLC and avoid the auto-relegation spot. So, LDLC playing today. Later on, they're on a last match as well versus NIP, so that is a must-win as a bare minimum. For Envious, if they can try get, you know, a map win eventually, they're going to be on the ball going forward.
Yeah, talking about those games that are going to be going on today as well, we do have the full schedule available to you guys now, so let's keep our eyes peeled about this secondary stream. So starting it off as our first game of the day, it is going to be HellRaisers versus G2.
Yeah, obviously the G2 HellRaisers matchup. G2 right now, number 8. They need to get wins to the board if they want to go into Dallas. Next matchup there, Envious versus Ago. Obviously the polls with good formats of late and Envious. You know, right now, rock bottom, number 14. They need wins on the board. Same can be said for ODLC. So last 2 matches we have today are really, you know, impending or important, paramount to these 2 teams trying to avoid auto-relegation and survive Season 7.
It's true, and I actually think that the one in the middle could actually be quite a close affair. I mean, Envy, they've looked like they've been struggling. Obviously, they've tried to switch things up a little bit there, but it's not really been working out too well for them. So Envy versus Zago could be quite an interesting match in the middle, a bit of a meaty one. But as you said, that last game, I mean, for LDLC versus NIP, I think that's just got NIP written all over it.
You would expect so, right? NIP currently number 4, 20 maps played, 39 points. They're 1 point behind, you know, Mouseport, Space Soldiers, 2 points behind Astralis as well. If they pick up the 2-0 versus LDLC, they will be number 1.
Yeah, that's true. That is a crazy feat for them as well, considering the turnaround from NIP last season of Pro League coming into this season.
It's true. New roster, new faces, you know, new motivation. We see this for a lot of these teams where online, suddenly there's a massive, you know, reimbursement of form, and then it's all there. But obviously, experienced roster on LAN, it takes time to get that under your belt. You know, as a 5-man core, you know, into the big, you know, 250k LANs, for example, or the Grand Slam tournaments, it does take time to get that experience. But online, you see the results show far earlier.
Yeah, it's true. You got a little bit more breathing room there as well, because online it can be quite volatile, really, in the terms of CS you play. Obviously, online, entirely different environment. It's a lot more stressful. You really need that 100% groundwork put in. If you go into a LAN environment, you know who you're going to be playing against. You know what you need to be done. Teams will come in prepared with anti-strats, prepared, ready to try and take that head on. But online, it's a little bit more lenient. You have windows.
It's true. You know, speaking of online and the LAN itself and qualifying for Dallas, I mean, you look at the top 6 right now, and, you know, North, Na'Vi, NIP, Mouseport, Space Soldiers, Astralis. And there is one team that stands out for me. It is the Space Soldiers team. Currently, number 2. They've got the best round difference so far in the tournament, I believe. They do actually, yeah, on 78. 281 rounds won, 203 lost. 13-6 currently in their first season of Pro League. And, you know, you look at the names on there, Astralis, NIP, Na'Vi, and they're there as well, number 2. And they're performing so well so far. And they are playing today, I believe, on the mainstream. They are indeed actually versus HellRaisers. If they can get the 2-0 there, you know, they're going to be fighting out Astralis for that number 1 spot and the number 1 seed going into LAN, which is so important for this team. If they can get into good seeding at LAN, make it out of groups, top 8, you know, that's where the experience is really garnered.
Yeah, it's true. And I mean, we even spoke to Major about it in person as well and asked him, do you think there is a difference between you guys on LAN, you guys online? He was like, no, I don't.
Yeah.
I think that we're a good team no matter where we play. And he just sort of put it down to the fact that it was mistakes in the past that won't happen.
Well,
he was not happy.
He wasn't happy. You can tell he's been, that's been said a lot to him. You can tell he's had that comment a fair few times. But yeah, I mean, obviously for Space Soldiers, they like to say that they can carry forward the online play to LAN. So, if they get a 2-0 today versus HellRaisers, we're going to be seeing that. Yeah,
that would be interesting, obviously, over on the main stream. But the first game of the day we do have going on over here is going to be HellRaisers versus G2. It'll actually give us a good glimpse in how HellRaisers are playing when they actually do face off against Space Soldiers as well.
Yeah, it's true. HellRaisers right now, number 10 in the league, 28 points and 18 maps played. So doing actually fairly well so far, even though G2, their opposition right now in this first match of the day is, right now number 8. They've got 30 points, so they're only 2 ahead of HellRaisers, but they've also got 22 maps played. So it's 4 map difference, 2 points is the difference there. So, 4 maps for HellRaisers to try and get at least 1 win and they'll be overtaking them. And HellRaisers, if they have a crazy day today, they've got 4 maps to play out today, right? 2 versus Space Soldiers, obviously. 2 versus G2 as well. So 2 very good teams. But if they have a crazy run of form today, for example, this could be HellRaisers locking in potential for a top 6 finish.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, this is their last chance. Obviously, if they can try and get it up, it's going to work well for them. If they don't, they'll be lying down in that position. But at least, I mean, you're 10th. You're not really in a horrible spot. You're nowhere near that auto-relegation zone. You might have to try and fight for survival potentially if things go south, but it could be okay for them. Seems like they've definitely found their footing towards the end of the season and kept it fairly restricted there.
Yeah, I mean, I reckon if it's for HellRaisers, they can pick up 1 map victory here, make it to 30 points, they should be just doing fine.
Yeah, well, let's get into it and kick off today's first matchup. G2 versus HellRaisers is going to be our first game of the day, and the map will, of course, be Mirage. Let's see who's going to be picking this one up. Is it going to be an Oasis for G2, or just a mere Mirage in front of HellRaisers thinking they're going to get a win?
Oh, surprising, actually. G2, when they played versus LDLC last week, they went into overtime when they had that victory there, 22-19 versus LDLC on Mirage. Obviously, LDLC currently number 13 in the league, trying to avoid the auto-relegation spot versus Envious. But things have begun. Kenny S, first frag already onto Angel, 5 versus 4 as a site is underway.
Yeah, they've taken site control. The bomb has gone down. Woxic kills Apex as well, so now we're back into a 4v4. They've got post-plants positions, but there is the backstab from G2 coming through. Body and Co returning from the rear, going to try and see what havoc they can wreak against this side, but it's a nice crossfire. They peek out, they slay Kenny S. Woxic as well, his second kill into the round as he takes down MBK. Looking just tackle them all head on right now, but Body eventually will leave him lifeless on the ground. And Mixwell looks for a piece of the pie as well.
Does indeed. 3 versus 2 currently. And now Mixwell alone in the 1 versus 3. Bomb ticking away, no chance from him, even if he lands the frag and the headshot onto Bondic. The round is going to be going in favor of HellRaisers. Interestingly enough as well, Jack, if you remember, we casted the IEM Sydney qualifiers, VP versus G2.
Yep.
After that one, when G2 lost versus VP, MBK did a tweet and was speaking about the new team. Obviously, they've only had a week's practice. Obviously, now it's 2 weeks practice, but he said they weren't expecting to qualify for these big lands just yet. He said wait for the coming months, the coming weeks, so they've had time to settle Mixwell in. He is on trial, remember, trying to learn French, as he's, of course, a Spaniard. So is there a lot of pressure right now for G2 to qualify for the LAN finals in Dallas, right? Currently number 8. Yes, they can do it if they have, 4 wins back-to-back potentially to get to that maybe, 40-point mark. But it's not really on the agenda as much as some of these other teams.
I think that's the thing. That's what MBK was trying to allude to in that Twitter video, is essentially the fact that if they don't make it to Dallas, it's not going to be the worst thing in the world, right?
Or Sydney, yeah.
Yeah, they're not really trying to qualify for those LANs events right now. They're just trying to get the team set in stone, try and iron out the kinks and make things work at a later date. But as of right now, the retake could definitely be on for G2 to actually take this in a 1-1 so far in the scoreline. They're going to go for a free player push around short. They go for the boost, but the timing is awful, as Dead Fox was just in a mad position to go huge with the Mat 10 there. Slays them all. Makes a ton of cash for it.
Does indeed. $1,800 there made towards B-Shot from the Mac 10 from Dead Fox. And can he make it $2,400 if he finds the last frag hit onto Apex? Has the Deagle, has the Kevlar. Jump comes in. There you have it. 4 frags with the Mac 10, $2,400 made, plus the $3,500 round bonus. He nearly got the AK there. That would have been perfect. But round number 3 here. Should now be the EK coming out from G2. They did find 3 kills versus HellRaisers, so in terms of economical damage, it was definitely felt from HellRaisers. Buy gonna come through. Mac 10 still into commission here from HellRaisers. Sees it there for Woxic, gonna be saving for that AWP into the next round, round number 4. And Woxic, he's been, a damage dealer for this HellRaisers team. So far, putting up some great numbers in LAN tournaments, in Pro League as well. He's one of the driving forces in terms of firepower for the HellRaisers side. G2, they go for the mid-rush. HellRaisers go back towards the B side. They found it easy last time, and even easier this one.
Well, Bondico just bursting their way around, trying to really pick up these frags in quick succession. Issa with the AK will be able to kill one man there. It takes down MBK, but the firearm has been saved. They're going to try and run away with it. Kenny S will be the bait to try and take the brute force of the damage, but his teammate's already dead. And he follows suit as well. Slain by the CZ as Woxic kills them all. And that is the 3 rounds in fast succession picked up for HellRaisers. Now this is where things should get serious. Going into round number 4, the buy can come out for G2, and the damage should be done.
Wow. First buy rounds here, the first map of the night. Fanas for body, but apart from that, M falls across the board, and the AWP onto Kenny S. No Kevlar to back it up. There has a smoke flash in terms of utility. He's AWPing towards CT, so holding for the ramp peak early on, expecting Mac 10s potentially to still be in the arsenal from HellRaisers. Expecting some aggressive peaks and jewels to be taken from the international squad. But instead, 3 towards middle, 2 towards B apartments, most likely smoke towards double connector, flash up towards short, and a B split on the cards here as they had the bomb in towards apartments, 2 players already up towards short. They've also got Angel as well close towards connector as the Molotov comes up and the first frag's found by MBK.
Good headshot there on Dead Fox. Response with a nade though from Issa, blows MBK out the server, so it's still a 4v4 and what to play for. They do go for the push in towards the B site, Mixwell detected by Bondic and just body slammed as per usual. They are going for this retake, but Kenny, no armor. It's going to be risky if he goes in glass cannon. He can be shattered incredibly easily by the AK fire, but as of right now, it's on Apex to make the initial contact as he holds by close short, wanted to see if he could get anything possibly. An exit frag there as the save call has been made, but Woxic was too slippery and struck him down.
Yeah, uncharacteristic round there from HellRaisers. We're used to seeing slow, steady, methodical Counter-Strike from HellRaisers. Obviously, I'm not saying that wasn't methodical, but I'm just saying defaults, right? Across the whole map, gaining map control, getting themselves in towards CPO, getting themselves in towards connector. Gaining control towards middle, exploiting that with splits towards A, splits towards the B side. But instead, you can see that round was called from spawn. Maybe they had a read in terms of the money. Maybe they knew that G2 weren't going to have the AWP towards connector, towards window from Kenny S. Maybe they knew that Kenny S forced in the second round, so they knew that they could exploit mid in that way and get up through short and not have to worry about AWPing connector peering over the smoke. But yeah, simple smoke on the top of connector, flush up towards short, B split nice and easy, kept it simple, and they called it from spawn, and it couldn't have gone any better. 4-0 now, as the saved off from Kenny S has gone towards B, and HellRaisers making once again the great call to go towards the other side.
Bursting their way out towards A, but bodies left and bodied down on the ground as he finds a nice couple of frags there with his FAMAS. They do fall back though. Trying to reposition around this, but that's a hefty chunk of damage done. A bad miss there from Woxic as well. If he would have connected that shot, it still could have been playable, but at this point, G2 are really firmly pressed in the driving seat. Kenny lurks over towards the B site. If they do go to B, he's going to cut off that rotate. This isn't too bad at all.
5 versus 3. 2K towards Shadow from body early on. HellRaisers trying to go for the fast play, but Woxic open things up. First frag found out by HellRaisers. They get 1 towards connector. And the B side completely barren here from G2. Kenny S is here now with the up towards short, but just holding for the aggressive push so far. As HellRaisers slowing down the pace, they're expecting some CT aggression to come in, someone to peek in for information towards middle or from the vent at CT. Angel now could work his magic through CT in towards kitchen. And MBK holding for it, has to be ready for the peak.
Yeah, it just depends on who really gets this next frag here. It'll decide a lot into the round if there can be a resurgence from HellRaisers or if it's just going to be a shutdown by G2 and the peak comes out from Apex. Bit of an awkward spam, but luckily Body's there to complement him. They kill Angel. Apex murders a man as well. And MBK, a bit of a trouble tap there with the CZ, and he does die. Kenny also goes down, and Woxic tries to make the round winnable, but instead, he will lose out in the 1 versus 2 with the AWP. And finally, G2 get themselves around as they'll knock 1 on the board.
Yeah, all from the save as well from the last round. Save FAMAS finds 2 frags. Kenny S as well chimes in with the AWP. And there you have it. G2 picking up the first round on their CT side. Tactical timeout instantly called by HellRaisers. Maybe they're trying to work out how they can best distribute their money across the board. Also work out what they can change as well But let's see. Now they know the AWP's going to be in Kenny's hands. They have to be scared about the jump towards B short. As we know, Kenny S is famous for that, jumping through window on towards B short and peering through the gap in the mid smoke. So you maybe have to smoke window, flash mid, molly con as well, and try and force by Kenny S back towards the sides. If you see him towards B short early on, you can go for a fast A split, try and exploit that. Obviously, smoke short, or flash short, smoke window, get up through con, trade the frag of the player playing towards, you know, triple boxes or stairs. Trade the frag on site, you know, 3 versus 3. You got the site in your domain, rounds over. Wow. Leaving just 1 towards top mid is Bondic instead. 2 towards B, 2 towards A as well. This is actually quite a strange round coming from HellRaisers. Trying to work out why there's 2 players towards A ramp position, but Kenny is still in that duel. Woxic holding for the cubby. I think he thought he saw something he didn't see.
Oh, Angel, he's not going to be seeing anything anymore into this round as his face has been ripped off, but it still gets the trade back on Apex. And as of now, they can attempt to reposition. It's a 3 versus 4. 1 minute and 14 still left on the clock, and I'm just worried about what Mixwell's going to be up to into this one, where he tries to play it. Getting the audio information right now as he plays close towards short, but they backtrack round. They're actually going to be going for the mid boost. Sorry, the mid push, rather, as they push down. So Bondic won't really know too much about the location of these CTs currently. They haven't seen anything, so Mixwell actually could strike it with very good timing if he plays his cards right.
Good. 3 players towards middle here from HellRaisers. Smoke in towards B short. They could boost over the boxes, try to go for the peek onto Mixwell, but he has fallen back smartly. Has to be super paranoid about the boost towards window now, as the players are in towards middle. Issa in towards connector. Dead Fox up towards CPL short as well. Has the AWP. Could peek in as well. MBK has to be wary about a peek from short from the AWP. But Issa spotted out by Body. Towards Shadow as well. Eventually going to be traded out by Bondic.
Yeah, huge frags coming through. So Kenny S now in position with the tag as well. So Dead Fox is almost dead, and he charges in. Mixwell will find that frag, and he'll clean up the site as he takes down the last man. Defuse as well. So that will be the 2nd round now for G2.
Might be saving the double AWP as well. And they are. Interesting. AWP towards, obviously, B short from Mixwell. Kenny S gone up towards connector. So they could leave Kenny S to AWP towards CT, hold for the ramp push out, and have Mixwell AWP towards short. Anyway, hold mid with the AWP. Let's see how they do structure themselves on the CT side now with the double AWP setup. In terms for HellRaisers, the cash looking fairly bleak here. $2,000 across the board. They have lost 2 in a row, so they are on the $1,900 round loss bonus. Into the next round as well, if it goes 4-3, they will have the round loss bonus of $2,400, so they can buy. And that Molotov, used to try and deny a mid-push to give time for HellRaisers to group up now towards B. This denies a lot of information from G2. They now have no idea that all the players are situated here from HellRaisers.
All the push comes through. MBK's already denied the majority of it. Slain Issa and Woxic, and Dead Fox, he's looking a bit toasty, but he dives straight in and goes down to the USP of MBK as well. That's a hat trick so far. He's looking to make it even more. Really make a meal out of this round. He pushes in, tries to blow Bondic to bits, but Mixwell will eventually close it down for him. And now G2 have actually found their footing. That's 3 rounds on the trot. They're into a good position. And it actually seems like they've got a bit of momentum on the CT side.
Wow. Double save going to come out from HellRaisers. They went for the quasi-buy into the last one. Smoke, CZs in towards the B side. NDK playing passive retake with the AWP. He knew that if he saved his utility for the retake, it would have been fairly easy. Molly out towards bench. Smoke towards short. Flashes out. Could have flashed out the rifles and held apps. Held for the bench peak as well, while the rifles did the work on the retake. And now the eco once again from HellRaisers. So they had the 4-0 lead. They lose 2 buy rounds back-to-back, and now they force them to the double eco. And now, Mixwell towards short. Finds the first frag. Actually, Kenny S, apologies, but Mixwell does chime in eventually. Kenny S finds 2 as well. 2 for 2. Mixwell gets that 3rd final frag as well towards the top of mid onto Woxic. And now we see it all squared up. 4-4 into round number 9.
That was a very quick round as well. A lot of aggression coming through there. G2 just going to be crunching on them at mid. Couldn't expect too much out of HellRaisers though, but it does tie up the scoreline now. As we get in around number 9, things need to change from HellRaisers. Return to that previous form. They got the AWP buy on Woxic. What do they do with it, Snobs?
Yeah, it's hard really, because when you're versus the double up setup versus a team like G2 as well, you know that MBK is going to be playing passive towards the B site, so are you going to try and take that up towards middle? Are you going to be dueling a passive AWP potentially from MBK? Kenny S is going to be the aggressive one, and there it is. He makes the short jump, crosses over the smoke, and finds that first frag in towards middle. And Woxic's now left to try and pick up the pieces of his fallen brethren. As Kenny S rotates back around through short and in towards CT ticket booth. Most likely going to go ticket booth, peek in towards connector, and now he can maybe find another frag as well to Angel. So, Kenny S single-handedly winning the round here so far for G2.
Yeah, it's a good round so far, but it's slowed down a lot now in terms of the pace. Minute and 10 left on the clock. The bomb is easily recoverable for HellRaisers, though it's been left still in their control, so no shenanigans have occurred with that. Woxic can snap it up. See how they want to play this. Dead Fox goes for the contact play in towards the B-bomb site, but sees the smoke. Doesn't really fancy his chances of pushing through. If they did, NBK is the Lone Ranger on the site, armed with the AWP, just waiting for that push to come towards him.
Yeah. Seems like it will be a B split here, coming out from HellRaisers. Mix behind the pixel angle. Has the Molotov to deny the split as well, so remember, 40 seconds left. And here we go. Issa. Angel up towards short, Mixwell on the angle, spots out one head, goes for the spreader, not able to connect the shots though, but Apex can. 2 through the connector smoke as he lines up both Issa and Angel. Now the remaining 2 players jump out through apartments.
Yeah, and then he's trying to make this work. This is the last ditch attempt now. 2 versus 4, outnumbered, but not outgunned as Dead Fox slays NBK. And Apex has to go even bigger into this round. It would need to be a 4K from him as he finds the headshot on Dead Fox and he looks for him. Oh, finds that kill as well, takes down Woxic. That's beautiful. Quad kill coming out. Apex, proving he's the Apex Predator.
Another round going in favor of G2, so that's 5 in a row now. Nearly $11,000 for Apex already. Same can be said for Kenny S, nearly at 13K, all those AWP saves. Paying his dividends back so far. Maximum round loss bonus now for HellRaisers on their T sides. They can go for the investment into CZ, Kevlar, and utility. And they still have money as well to buy the next one. So, lining up for the smokes towards the A side. Issa in towards Palace. Has the Deagle, so can hold towards stairs, go for that stairs peek and try and rip the head off of Apex potentially. But Kenny S, far back, good position here. Double retake coming out from both Body and Kenny S.
Ooh, Kenny finds that first kill on Bondic. Looks for some more though as he needs to try and lay him out. Can't quite land these shots just yet as he's flicking about like a lunatic. Punishes Angel. It's all down to Issa as the last remaining member of the squad. Finds that nice little tasty Deagle shot. But that is the end of his run.
So, Body, Kenny S both playing extremely passive. You saw Body play the far back angle at CT holding Palace. Kenny S holding towards ramp. Smokes come in, jumps in towards triple. 1 frag, 2 frag, and found the 3rd as well. Anyway, enough about cigarettes. 6-4, Jack. Round number 11. AWP for Woxie once again, obviously, onto the maximum round loss bonus. They can afford to go for the full buy, full utility, and the AWP in terms of firepower. Aggression towards ramp hit from the CTs. Body pushing in, spots the head from Missus. That is information found, but ramp now in control of G2. Push as well towards short from Mixwell. If there's a gap in that smoke, he may have the timing here. Angel blinded by his own flashbang, but makes his way towards connector and wins the duel once again. Mixwell struggling so far towards B short.
Yeah, it's weird. Looking uncharacteristic of his playstyle, really, towards short. Very slow, holding his angles, but when he does go for these attacks, just being overwhelmed, it seems. A bit odd, but Apex, luckily enough, has been able to bring it back and make it work. When they lose short control, this time does that again. Kills Angel, so the brain box to the HellRaisers side has been eliminated for the meantime. But still a 4v4. NBK with the timing so close, but so far there. Goes down, Woxic will slay him. And now things open up back in favor of HellRaisers. There's 48 seconds left on the clock. Body, he goes for the information push, but actually could cut off the rotate here. If he's quick enough as this push comes in towards the B site. Kenny just needs to delay.
Made noise though. Dead Fox may have heard that. Push coming in now as well. When are we going to be seeing Apex rotate towards the B site? It's too late here, Jack. Kenny S falls back though. Easily lined up and caught off guard by Dead Fox. 2 versus 4. Potential now for the save from G2.
Yeah, awkward stuff there, obviously. Losing his face like that. Now you're left in basically an unwinnable round, but he still goes for it. Walks into the unknown blindly there as he plays with confidence, but it doesn't really help him out. Apex is forced into the save, so finally HellRaisers actually do pick up a round. Win it back into a 6-5 scoreline. There will be a rebuy for G2 though, so they're not going to be drowned just yet. They will stay afloat for a little while longer.
6-5. As G2's 6-round hot streak will be ending. Apex maybe go for some extra frags here, anticipating low money. Or trying to find an AK, one of the two. Dead Fox maybe walking to the crosshair, spotted out. Apex is going to be losing his head there. Still though, for G2. 12k for Body, nearly 14,000 for Kenny S, double digits, $10,000 for Apex as well, so the money isn't an issue, but it may be if they lose 2 rounds in a row. And tactical timeout call potentially from G2. They do not want to have the momentum stalled here by 1 loss versus HellRaisers. They also want to have a great round to reset the money versus HellRaisers. If they reset HellRaisers' money here, Jack, I mean, 7-5, then a weak force buy from HellRaisers, 8-5, then an eco, potentially 9-5, then HellRaisers are left to try to play for that 9-6 half at the end of the day. So, into the latter portions of this first half here, where the money is the deciding factor for both of these teams. But for G2, do they want to run the risk of going for the double-up setup? Is it going to be, working for them? And the answer is no. MBK wants to be more dynamic with the M4. He wants to be able to play around an execution or a set play towards that B side. Obviously, we know notoriously the Ops aren't very good versus executions in terms of utility, flashes, Molotov smokes, and you name it.
Let's see if Mixwell's actually going to switch anything up here as well in terms of his playstyle. As of this into this round, holds from the close connector position. You got 3 players set up close towards ramp as well on the A site. So G2 trying to break the mold a little bit, seeing if that'll work out better for them. The Lone Ranger B is still going to be MBK, but Nathan's only armed with the M4 there.
Kenny S, orping towards ramp, has the bait angle for Body as well. So Body is baited into by the ult from Kenny S. Obviously, Kenny S shoots. The player from HellRaisers trying to trade its teammates, who's going to push forward into Body's crosshair. But bomb drop towards T-Spawn. HellRaisers is going to be lining up for the smokes. Body will be able to hear them pin their grenades when they throw it, so that's going to be additional, few seconds extra to have the cavalry arrive. But this player's already here, Jack. Mixwell, instead of being towards B short, is in towards jungle, holding for the window boost, and towards connector. I imagine Apex is holding. But here we go. Smokes in towards the A site. The grenades are deployed.
Yeah, they're walking straight into the trap right now, and they have no idea of the stack that is waiting for them. Apex, though, when they rotate off, actually, it's going to be... What if he gets cut down by Woxic as he finds that frag? Woxic very low on HP, though. Bondix is the only one that's looking on top of his form in terms of his health advantage into the round. If Apex peeks out, though, he might get the drop on him, which he does, then extends round for a little bit more, but Mixwell slays Woxic. And that is going to be the round picked up for G2. They save one of the AWPs, they grab 2 AKs as well as a bit of a consolation prize, and they're going to get through that round with 7 now marked up with their total tally. And it leaves HellRaisers broken, Snods. I mean, this could be an 8-5 before you know it. They're actually going to pump all that cash back into it and go for it.
Well, let's see. Obviously, Mac 10 here for Dead Fox. Everyone bar Apex having head armor, so the Mac 10 maybe not the most effective. Coming in fast towards the B side. Woxic with the best spawn. Oh, this is perfect. Mixwell's being boosted up here, but the flashes, the execution, perfectly timed and played as Mixwell loses head first. It's with the first frag, Bonnet with a second. This could be an instant save away from G2 there. 10,000, 13,000. Crazy assortment of money they had prior has slowly dwindled away. And now 2 players survive, and it will be the save code coming out. Poor time to call for that boost there towards the bench, as Mixwell is timed, and MBK as well. 7-6 as HellRaisers fight back.
Yeah, I mean, this is a good round now from HellRaisers, obviously. The fact is, they went for a bit of a risky play with it. You could see very, very minimal amounts of utility, but they used it in the way they had. Went for all-out aggression towards B. Any other time, Mixwell's angle might have worked out. It might have really drove home some damage, but instead, just leaves him caught off guard. MBK as well with the extension as he had the grenade out. They catch him off. Just did not go well. It was a bit of an odd one. A slippery slope over at the B site that just left them further and further down in a hole. They do save a little bit, though. You've got the 2 rifles that were brought over. Apex still has money. The rest of the team, they've still got funds, but it's the fact that it's now basically gone. The amount of buffer they had built, that bubble's finally burst. And for HellRaisers as well, it means the scoreline could definitely start to teeter back in their favor. At the very least, they'll get the bonus round at the end of the half if they can take it in a 7-8 fashion.
Kenny S once again towards B short. Expecting a flash to come in towards top middle. but instead passive plays here from Bonding. Just Chigo peeking the angle, expecting a peek coming in. And he may be correct. Mixwell leaving the B side, going in towards Connector. Kenny is still here towards shore. Dead Fox coming back from B apartments in towards middle, so maybe they're going to be walking into the scope here from Kenny S if they slowly move in at the wrong time.
Kenny just waiting for the push to come around. Mixwell defends him as he holds toward underpass, and just depends on the timing really here. They've got tons of utility. They might actually go for a run boost over. They fluff it a little bit. They're going to try and propel Dead Fox in the air if they can figure out how to keep him on top of Bonding's head. He goes for the double jump, then the run face, but he misses on the flick. Couldn't quite shoot him out of the sky that time.
Push coming in towards round from Apex. They're trying to work out where HellRaisers are trying to eventually conclude. Mixwell, perfect timing, perfect positioning, but the execution not quite there. 5 versus 3.
It seems like Mixwell's had no luck into the game.
I know, I was thinking the same thing actually.
Like situations where normally he'd absolutely decimate and really go huge, that play was perfect. I mean, obviously you play around the smoke, you pick that up, but just unfortunate really. Left in the 2v2 though, it's still to play for either side, and Angel tries to make it a HellRaisers round as he starts to do some damage. Takes down MBK. It's up to Kenny to save it. He's got a kit. He's got his fateful AWP, but he's not really in a position to do too much. Just hiding, playing these post plants. They've Molotov the bomb. If he can find Woxic, maybe it's something that could be the start of something new, but it isn't going to be. Goes down as Woxic will slay him. And this is good for HellRaisers now. The final round of the half to decide which one of these two teams will get a small advantage going through into the second half. And a complete change of the way it looked like the landscape was going to be shaping up towards the end of this one.
Definitely true, Jack. I mean, when we had the 6-5 scoreline or 6-4 scoreline with G2 on that big roll, cash in the bank, momentum in their favor, they then reset the money for HellRaisers when it went 7-6. We thought, okay, this is maybe a 10-5 half here from the French side, but no, they come back fighting. 7-7. All squared up going to the final round though. CZ for Mixwell. 2 M4s for both Body and Apex. Fatmat's going to be warded by MBK. The real source of firepower from G2. Kenny S is only down to 30 HP as well, so the damage being felt here from G2. Mid control now in favor for HellRaisers as well, so chances are dwindling away here for G2. HellRaisers have the player towards middle, they have the player in towards apartments as well, they can get up towards short, the only player holding it has a CZ. And a Fatmas as well towards the B apartments, so 1-for-1 trade there for Mixwell is good enough, but Dead Fox in it towards apartments. If he wins the 1 versus 1, the round could be over.
Yeah, it's really reliant on him, but instead he gets slain, and now Apex has arrived on the scene to aid his teammates as well. Double kill from Apex. The telegraph location of Woxic has been given away as well, but Kenny S comes through, snipes him down, straight rips his way through him with the AWP, and shapes things up in a 7-8 in favor of G2 as they pick up the final round of the half there, and that's not too bad. It's still very close though. A hyper-competitive game thus far on Mirage, and G2 showing like there's still a few issues there to be sort of paved over really on their Mirage. I mean, we kind of alluded to that with the fact that it went to overtime versus LDLC, and now we kind of get first-hand experience of what might have been the issues there.
And that's only last week as well, obviously 22-19 victory for G2. So that's double overtime, Jack.
Yeah, that's a long one.
That's 18-18, then obviously the 22 victory. But 7 rounds claimed by HellRaisers on their T side, and obviously Mirage slightly favored to the CTs. So it's going to be interesting to see how HellRaisers favor in the second half pistol, obviously crucial for them. Win the pistol, get off to a good start, make it 10-11, and have a lockdown CT side, have Woxic dynamic across the map as we saw Kenny S do. He was actually playing very well. For G2, what is the key to victory here? If they lose the pistol, they do for themselves, find themselves, apologies, into a 2-round deficit, for example, and they're back against it. Do they fall back onto executions? Do they fall back onto set default plays across the map? Because if you remember, Jack, when we saw Virtus Pro versus G2, VP won that one 16-7. That was a map where G2 got out-rotated, they got outplayed, they got out-thought out each and every round. And they struggled so hard to deal with VP. And it was on their CT side where they really felt it. So maybe 8 rounds is enough. Maybe the raw firepower, the raw skill they have on the terrorist side is enough to win those duels. Apex can go crazy, tear heads off, and open up the sights and win the round and win the game for them single-handedly.
Seems to be the case in a lot of those rounds where things just go down to the position of one man stepping up massively. But we'll have to wait and see how the second half does go down. Hopefully going to get this underway shortly and then continue on with this. I mean, the HellRaisers, though, they're by no means that far behind. It's only one round. This pistol is really important at this point, though. If G2 find the pistol, they can propel themselves quite far into the lead. It's also the fact that if HellRaisers get it, at the very least, you get a 2-round little buffer from it. Then G2, if they find a bomb plant, can buy back into it. But it's all ifs and buts at this point. So let's find out as we dive back into the round on round number 16.
5 players from G2 in towards the A side. 3 palace, 2 ramp. Smoke comes in towards jungle. The flash is going as well. A bit premature. The push comes through towards the A side, but the headshots land.
Yeah, nice damage done. Dinking down Bondic and forcing him to fall back very early on as the site gets swarmed. The bomb will be planted by Body as well. This is a perfect round thus far from G2. They forced them out, but here comes the retake squad, and Angel's looking deadly as ever as he takes down 2 people already, leaving them in the underworld. But Kenny, with a response, beats them down, denies any hell-raising shenanigans today from HellRaisers. Looks for another frag. Apex will find it, and it's all up to Woxic, who's just taking a massive dink and goes down the end. And Kenny,
killing everyone.
He was a bit bloodthirsty. Yeah, he's killed his teammate as well.
Well, well, well. From the 5 versus 3, Kenny S towards CT, lights it all up there. 2 headshots close. And a 3rd body shot as well as Bondic was already low from Apex's clock headshot early on. And there you have it. 9-7. Pistols go 1 for 1. As we are still into a very competitive matchup here on Mirage. Mac 10 investment there for MBK. UMP coming from Mix1. And apart from that, 3 rifles across the board from G2. And once again for HellRaisers, they don't fully invest. Only Angel investing into Kevlar. He did find a frag into the last round, so he can afford that extra cash and extra weaponry. First frag found with the Deagle from Woxic. Headshot lands. And this means he can actually afford armor behind his AWP. He bought Kevlar down to $800, and if he didn't find a kill in these 2 rounds, Jack, he wouldn't have been able to go for AWP Kevlar. Bit of a risk.
Yeah, it's a bit cheeky. Oh, Dead Fox somehow gets away with that initial frag. Tries to go for the reload, then second guess himself, thought he'd go for a knife instead. Does get slain. But still, got one little tasty opener. Woxic trying to deal some more damage as well with his Deagle as he's swinging wide, firing out pot shots. Just warning sounds, really, as this push comes round. Apex incredibly low. You've still got Issa and Bondic to try and bail him out and salvage this round potentially, as G2 are left with just 3 members. They've all taken quite heavy hits as well. Just depends if somehow there's a bit of momentum left in HellRaisers, a final oomph to drag them through by their coattails. But right now, it's very slow stuff from them. Keeping a distance, staying far back, waiting to see if G2 will make another mistake to allow them to entry off the back of it. There is the peek from Bondic. He can't quite connect the shots. Issa, though, does make the damage work as he does the damage. Finding those frags, now pushes in up close towards the bomb. So I'm going to switch out to a CZ, bound across. Doesn't quite know the angle that Apex is playing from. An Apex, he's just playing for time here, Snods. He's got 12 HP, but all he's got to do is run the clock down, and he might have just done it. Time's going to expire, and so will Issa at the end of this one. Tries to grab the AK and get away, and he will do so just in the nick of time, actually. Oh, no. Close, but not far enough.
Yeah, 10-7 then. At least for HellRaisers, finding all 5 frags. Didn't able to save the AK from Apex, but then again, damage dealt economically to G2. As they will all fully invest back into it, but they're going to waste a lot of money on this one. You can see a PT50 only for MBK, and Mac 10s for everyone else onto the team. HellRaisers went for the force buy into round number 18 here, Jack. This could have been an upset round itself. Rushing towards the B side, just going to be Angel, Dead Fox here. No Kevlar, no utility, PT50 and a CZ and a dream.
Oh, they're bursting their way down. Kenny S will find that frag. Angel and Woxic as well come through with a killer piece. NBK eventually trades back on Angel, but Woxic, no more damage dealt from his hand cannon this evening. And it is just Issa and Bondic that remain now in a 2 versus 3. Once again at the B-bomb site, it's like a repeat of the last one. Another Mexican standoff between these 2 players, and Issa goes in with a USP. He's able to pick up a nice little kill there back on Body. Now it's up to Bondic. All rides on this superstar. Let's see if somehow he can project himself and propel his team through with an 8th round, or if it'll be the 11th for G2. Kenny 5 HP, MBK on 99, but he's armed with the AK. The only utility they have is one smoke grenade. Bomb gets passed down to MBK, as he will find the headshot as well. Eliminates Bondic, and another round is picked up. G2 get themselves to 11. And they're looking good off the back of the opening pistol. Definitely playing with the momentum.
Wow. Pause coming through. Tactical timeout from G2 now. Are they discussing the thought of keeping the MAC-10s? Obviously, running that risk, their money is fairly low as it is. If they lose that round, they do have some discretionary income to maybe use it to the next one, obviously, if they keep the MAC-10s. If they swap the MAC-10s out for an AK and they lose this round, the first buy round in the second half, then they may have to go for an eco.
It's not.
Jack.
You see that that vehicle behind the CTs there?
Yeah.
Look at the scale of the size of the vehicle compared to the models of the actual people. I don't feel like you'd fit the CTs inside there. It's like a micro machine.
I mean, maybe you could. The one at the back, you definitely could. The one at the front, yeah.
Maybe it was just the angle or the height. I don't know.
I think the AWP's bigger than the 50 cal like actual machine gun as well onto it. So that's
the AWP is quite large, yeah.
Yeah.
The Arctic Warfare Magnum.
Arctic Warfare Magnum. Wow. Let's see what happens then. Simple execution towards the site. Guns have been kept.
Molotovs have been thrown. So have bullets. Fists have been clashing between these two sides already. As Body actually finds that frag. They now try and push up. Bondic's down. Apex on the height and angle. Not going to find anything though. No bang for his buck from the power play as HellRaisers, they're backing off. They're getting ready. They throw over the first pop flash to make this one a little bit easier. Dead Fox is going to go in leading the charge. Molotov's down, but if he doesn't clear this close right angle, that's when dismay will be caused and absolute chaos will reign through. He does give away his position. Apex now on the overextension. Killed by Woxic. Dead Fox as well. Very odd play there.
What on earth was that towards CT? But okay, maybe it's still winnable. Body, Kenny S, and now Body alone in the 1 versus 2 bomb. Being diffused through the smoke and whips up the season. Timing gets it, and that's going to be it. Bomb will explode. All the players are going to be dead to rights, but 12-7. 5-round advantage here for G2 off the back of God knows what we just saw there towards CT.
It's a bit odd.
It's one of those ones where you double down, you stick with it, you commit to it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know it's not going to work, but you still do it.
You think, you know what? All right.
All right.
All right. Trust the call. Kenny S waiting for the push to come up towards mid though. He could be in for a field day here.
It very well could be, especially when you consider the fact that Bonix only got a CZ at range. Dead Fox as well only got the CZ, so 3 dinks potentially to land the frag onto Kenny S as they are holding for the mid push. 12-7 advantage here for G2. These are must-win maps as well, remember, because for G2 right here, they've got 4 more maps to be played, or this map plus 3 more. They win this one, they go 2-0 as well for the series, then G2 will go to 36 points. They would actually finish 6th, they'll be ahead of North. But they have played 2 more maps than North at that point, so that's when all those issues arise.
Yeah, that's true. A bit of a struggle for them then. But still, quite a slow round. I mean, they've tapered back the speed quite a lot, but it doesn't matter as Body finds 2 really critical frags there towards mid. Brings it into a 3 versus 4. Angel as well, attempting to re-aggress. Sees what's around the corner, doesn't really fancy it, but he's still trying to go to grab the AK. Oh, and it works out well for him. The risk versus reward was definitely in his favor.
Wow. MBK in towards Palace. Mixwell in towards B apartments. The bomb there onto Kenny S.'s back is here towards B as well. 3 versus 3. MBK. Has he done enough for a fake? And the answer is yes.
Yeah, they've all tiptoed their way over. I mean, they've sprinted towards him. Gets a further frag as well. Now they're going to be dubious and debating, hang on, is this actually a play towards the A site? There's no bomb. Kenny needs to plant now, as he will get it down. That is going to be the B site taken for G2, leaving him in a 2v2. Kenny, he's lost a little bit of HP. He's left on 60. As he scopes in, though, just waiting to see if they're going to bound out of the shop. Focusing in on the angle. As they start to push around. Woxic with the AK, Angel as well. Armed with the Kalashnikov. Here comes the first face, but it's an easy frag for Kenny. It was a bit of a miss on the second one, though. A whiff that leaves this round open as it lingers in anyone's hand. Woxic grabs the AWP. He doesn't have a kit though, Snoz. It's got to be a full 10-second defuse, and Mixwell, all he's got to do is peek out, find an easy tap down, save the AWP, and that is another round for G2, and sets them up for success.
HellRaisers' chances of LAN playoffs dwindling away in this one. 13-7. 6-round advantage for G2 on their T side as the smoke comes out towards window. Probably going to be a fast mid take here from G2 as Woxic actually misses the jump just a little bit. But the smoke misses as well. And with that, the paranoia sets in. Oh no, they don't know yet, Jack.
Yeah, they're going to run all out into this, assuming mid-window is covered, but luckily there is a miss from Woxic. And now they've got the map control and the opportunity to play around Mixwell. He hunts in as well, trying to find that kill towards the mid-window player, but Woxic wants nothing to do with this. He's already going to concede that control. So mid is G2 territory in seconds into the round, even when the round was awkward from either side. It's the day of the mist. Yeah, the day of the mist smokes and the mist flashes.
It's not his day today, is it?
He's a bit unlucky today. I don't know what's wrong.
Yeah. Everyone has those days, man. Don't worry about it.
He's woke up on the wrong side of the mouse.
Hey, that's Matt.
Oh, this could be a nice defense here from Modicanus, depending on the timing. Oh, Kenny don't the contact face. But luckily you got big man Bondic, as he will be able to find that headshot back on body. Will run out of there as well. MBK peaks at the correct timing. Looking good so far, as this clinical round is definitely still in their favor. They're going to be able to get that bomb down, then play off of it. Dead Fox is the frontline infantry that attacks and finds two really critical kills. That is a huge play from Dead Fox and reopens this one up, as it's anyone's round now at this point. A 2v2, Dead Fox can feel the hunger, looking for a third frag. He's going to tiptoe in, but he leaves himself exposed to Kenny S. And without his teammate, what can Woxic get up to? A 1 versus 2 retake with the AWP. Gonna push around towards the site. Bullets whiz past him, and one will finally connect in his chest as well from Kenny S. And leave him lifeless on the ground as G2 get themselves to 14 stones, 1 away from match point, and very close from taking the series. This was quite nice from Dead Fox, though. I like the second little follow-up frag, straight through the body.
I know, I couldn't even see him. Well, 14-7 here. G2 seeming as if they're going to be closing this matchup fairly convincingly here. HellRaisers is unable to find a single round on their CT side, and G2 showing they've vastly improved their Mirage since we saw it. Not only versus LDLC, but also versus VP last week. But Apex holding for the aggression towards ramp, obviously expecting something to change here from HellRaisers. As the default comes through from G2. BK towards Palace, Apex towards ramp. I was going to say body towards middle, but actually they're all coming back towards the A side, it seems. Execution towards A will be the call made at the mid-round from G2. Issue is, though, Woxic close to the FAMAS. Bondic as well. They're going to be ahead of these smokes and flashbangs, Jack.
Bondic waiting for the push to come towards him. Peppered up there by bullets, and they've got the entry. I mean, this is the 15th round, surely. There is going to be the rotate in. Issa trying to support Angel, but the site control is teetering on being taken by G2. It just depends on what they can get up to now. Angel with the extension, finds body. Bides his time before he gets that frag. They're still unaware of his location. Angel, he's going wild into the round. Oh, so close. But unfortunately, his teammates died around him. And Apex will get that kill on the Madman Angel. And that's G2 getting the 15th.
If he had an M4 there, 5 extra bullets would have been us seeing Angel in that 1 versus 1. Well, 15-7 here, 8 match points now for G2 to close out map number 1 in a decisive fashion. 2 FAMASs for Issa and Bondic, MP9 for Woxic and Dead Fox, M4 for Angel. No defuse could see for the CT side to try and deny. Map 1 going in favor of G2. Molotov come in, forcing the peek and forcing the hand from Angel as Mixwell trying to deal more damage from above here towards the B side, but 1 should be enough.
Nice little early frag, MBK as well. Peels round and looks for trying to find Issa, but didn't know his location. Issa with 1, tried to get the second as well, which he will flick down to. But it's only 2 men left, Snods, on either team. The A site has been taken, and this is not looking good.
Bomb has been planted.
Bomb planted for CT. So Kenny S. Almost implanted from here, so he has to find a frag on the cross. Spots the first one out. And now the 1 versus 2. Going to be rotating back towards CT as well, so nearly impossible round now for Dead Fox to win, and with body towards Palace, it will indeed be impossible. 16-7, clinical, easy, one-sided affair there for G2, as now they go to 33 points above FaZe Clan.
Wow. Nice stuff there from G2 as they do pick that one up over on Mirage. Definitely a resurgence of form. Even with it looking like the team was struggling in a few different plays. Obviously, Mixwell looks like he's not really having the best day of CS right now. Brought it back towards the end, made it a lot more winnable for them. But still, overall, a good game there from G2.
Yeah, it was. Kenny S obviously showing us why he was one of the best toppers in the world, or the best, and still one of the best, apologies there. But yeah, dominant performance from him, obviously. Always able to find the refrags. CT side getting entries left, right, and center, and he's found his position within this team.
Yeah, it was really good from Kenny, obviously quite explosive. More sort of that older style of CS we expected to see coming out from him with his AWPing capabilities. But all in all, G2 picked that win up. But will they 2-0 the series? That is the big question for them, as they need to get these clean 2-0s at these last few games they have left in Pro League Season 7.
And indeed, they do. But they are now above FaZe Clan, all depending on how the result happens between FaZe and Fnatic that's going on as of right now. Obviously, Fnatic 12th, FaZe Clan 7th. But with that win, momentarily, maybe for a few more minutes, G2 have the lead by 1 point. North are only 1 point ahead as well. And North, do they play today? No, they do not. So they're going to be watching the matchup as well, anticipating a fight for that top 6 position.
Well, that is going to be the first game wrapped up. There is still more to come. The second map between these two Titans will be Inferno, so stay tuned for that, as things will get serious. In the meantime, enjoy these highlights, and we'll be back in with the second map after the break.
ESL Pro League is brought to you in part by Intel, Betway, Pay Safeguard, Logitech G, Mountain Dew League, MSI, Xfinity, and ESEA.
Incendiary out.